My name is Father Terry Sawchuk, and I'm parish priest here at Holy Angels Church for the last 8 years or so, and was ordained in 2010, and have been enjoying my time here in Schreiber and in the surrounding community. So the story of the bell is really one that began for me personally shortly after I came to Schreiber. I was studying the history of the parish. Many people told the story of the parish, and recalled that at one time there was a bell here in this parish. And in fact, this bell was created in 1894. The McShane Bell Foundry in Baltimore, Maryland is where the bell came from. And as I say, when I arrived in Schreiber, a lot of people were filling me in on the church history, and inevitably the story of the bell would come up, how they used to have a bell, but when they built this present church, which is the third church to be built on this site, it's the third church of the parish, that the bell was not incorporated into the designs or anticipated for the use of this building. We're not exactly sure why, but some suspect that at that time in the 1960s, the plan was to move over to a digital chime system. And so in either case, the bell, according to the story, was given away by the parish priest for use in another community. But no one really knew where that other community was. We found a lead in a source that was actually kind of right under our nose. The source was this church, this parish history known as Down Memory Lane at Holy Angels, and this was put together by a local and a resident former parishioner, Bertha Parody. And in her book on the history of the parish, she actually quotes a local story writer, historian, Ines McQuaig, who gave an account of the demolishing of the old church and the fact that the bell was no longer in use. But in her article, she actually gave some really solid clues as to where the bell ended up. And in fact, that gave me enough information to go and search out the location. Sure enough, there is a church with a bell in it, and at the time, the church and the bell weren't being used. And so I was able to reach out to the parish priest in charge of the community, and he had given permission for us to return the bell. At that point, I was pretty sure that it was the bell from Holy Angels, but I wanted to make it 100% sure. And the kind of final piece of the puzzle that came together for me was when I looked up the McShane Bell Foundry. And it turns out that this bell, made in 1894, McShane Bell Foundry, Baltimore, they in fact still make bells, which is pretty amazing. They're still in the business of making church bells. So I reached out to them and asked them if they kept any records on church bells, and this just so happened to have a number inscribed in the bell. It looked to me like a bit of a reference number, and so I gave that information to them. Within a day, they contacted me, and they said that they found the bell with that number in their old registers, which is pretty remarkable. They said, we don't know exactly what church it went to, but that bell was shipped in 1894 to a town called Schreiber, Ontario. And at that point, I thought, okay, this is it. This is the bell. And so that in a nutshell is how we found the bell. Once we got the bell back to our town, to Schreiber, we did it with the help of some local contractors, the 80 brothers, who really chipped in to make that transportation happen. And then some of our local parishioners went to work to restore the bell and to create a structure that would encase it and showcase it for future use in our parish. And so Dan Riley, John Bernier really took the lead on this project. They're artists in their own right, in their craftsmanship, and they certainly did an excellent job putting all this together. The bell had to be sandblasted and refinished, which they did, recoated it, and the structure that holds the bell is something that they created also. on their own, and with the help of a number of other people within the community. But the structure is a solid one, and one that they took a good amount of time and effort to put together.
If you see the cross sign up above there, that's a safety in case the bell breaks or the mooring breaks and comes down. So there's no way it can come down. It's going to stay where it's at, but 6 inches lower. Dan and I decided, well, we'll tackle the project. We didn't really have a clue what we got into, but we managed. We start for a few days. We started throwing a whole bunch of ideas together, and then we came out with a few, and we started.
So the pole handle is made out of a Louisville Slugger baseball bat. My brother donated the bat. I just machined it and put a clear coat epoxy on it. This is a boat cleat off my son's boat. I knew nothing about bells and bell towers, and approached Father about what he had in mind. He said, didn't matter, just use our own discretion, and this is what we came up with. It was way longer than I thought it would be. We ended up, I think, at least 6 weeks, maybe a little bit more, and of an average of about 6-7 hours a day. And we didn't have much room to build something that height, which approximately with the cube on top where the bell is standing is about 15 feet, 14 something. In Dan's garage, he's got a bay and with an open top. So we had this unit upside down with the legs upside down so we could measure, see if we were right or not. Getting back to some of the parts on the bell that were worn out, the shafts and stuff like that, we actually removed the old original shafts, put new shafts in, and then switched it over. Instead of running on the trunnions that originally came with the bell, I mounted them on pillow block bearings. Very easy to ring now, even a child could ring it. We were very happy with the final product, and we couldn't wait to take it out. Then we knew what it was going to look like, but we had it just upside down. So then we had the bell in the cube that's on top with the roof. We had that separately, so we never had it outside on the legs until we came here. So we just couldn't wait to see what it would look like, and then the mechanism that was put on the bell to ring the bell and stuff, and all that went on with it. And so we just couldn't wait to see it up there and ringing. With the people that were involved in helping us with the legs and the wiring and putting the lights in it and seeing it finished, it's very gratifying to see that something that you built actually comes together, and it'll be here for a long time. It's all wired. It's got lights in it, multiple colored lights that Father can change on his phone. The wire comes inside the leg too, eh? It's all put away. And if you notice here, there's a little plate. There's 4 of them, one on each leg. And this is the leg is bolted on the inside, so nobody can tamper with it. So you got to take this out before you can get to the bolt, to the nut, and that wouldn't be an easy job to take off. That's the side of the lawn chair that we used. We picked it up from the dump. Everybody wants to ring it. John's got a schedule out now. They got to take their turn, but everybody wants to ring it. It's good to hear, and Father rings it ahead of time before church every Sunday. Like, all I can say, it's always nice to do stuff for your parish, especially a nice project like this. And we had fun working together. It was not like a job that you have to go in every day, but then we made it of a job that we went in every day. So that's pretty well it, yeah.
So definitely the return of the bell has been a great blessing to the community. There are quite a number of parishioners who remember ringing the bell or having family members ring the bell when it used to be here prior to 1960 in the Second Holy Angels. And so to bring it back is more than nostalgia. It's like something of the soul of the parish has come back, and to hear the bell ring is just a really great feeling. The bell itself, as a part of our Catholic tradition, is what we call a sacramental. It's a sign, and in a way a way of sanctifying our senses. Okay, so it really kind of sanctifies the sense of sound. And when we hear the bell ring, yes, it's a call to prayer. Yes, it can signal the passing of time. But for us as people of faith, it's also a reminder of the voice of Christ who calls out to the hearts of each and every one of us. And so to have this bell back and put into use again is a source of great joy for us, definitely, and for our community, and God willing, for future generations.